the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. Sometimes I feel like all is lost, but I know it's not true. I wanna put up all my walls cause I'm not in the mood, but then I cut myself off from the rest of the room. I know that time can heal it all if you're patient and soon. It can all be worth it, all the searching. Pain is never really permanent, but damn it hurts, man. I could feel all of the turbulence and it's concerning. I've been searching for a purpose, I hope it's worth it. This society is really trying me. Ain't no hide and seek, I hide to be far from anxiety. I need my space, I need my privacy. I need some silence, please, you're all too loud. You don't speak quietly, opinions violently thrown across every surface. It makes me nervous, it's the world honestly burning. That's all I'm learning, hope that we can make a turn and start reversing. All our minds, we put the work in, we got some work, man. I can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. Gotta get through this, life is a nuisance, tie up some loose ends. I try to be human, find a solution, my evolution. A place like this, it didn't exist, we made it like this. So you can go pick the bad or the good, got a glass halfway. I know, it's easier to hide than just to lay low. Not everyone in life has got a halo. I'm standing in the red inside a payphone. Just wanna break, no, I'm not gonna give in. Take a last shot, Michael J. Win. No, I'm not a robot, I'm in my own skin. Never get lost when thoughts pull you in. I miss the old you, we died with a purpose. All the energy around me felt nervous. Scared I would pop off fast to the surface. Had to cut it off before you made me worthless. Torn apart, I've been torn and scarred. I had a given art, but now I'm thinking smart. I'm keeping up my guard, I'm hiding every card. A royal flush of love, you never know what's hard. With a back to the mat, gonna see where I'm at. I'ma fight like I'm mad, I'm a piece of the net. They can never be me, nice try, but they'll see I achieve everything while they stay salty. I can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Mm, mm. How's it going, guys? Hope you all are doing great. This is E-Vlog coming to you live, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it's been a minute. It's been quite some time, quite some days, quite some hours, quite some minutes. Now, last week, I did not put out any video. Actually, I recorded 2 episodes on two animes. I watched 2 animes on my Rumble channel. If you haven't checked it out, please go check it out on Togen Anki and Lord of the Mystery. That was all I did and that was on Sunday. I didn't record them the day it came out. I recorded them, or I did a live stream on them on Sunday. From Saturday all the way back. Okay, from Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, Saturday, I was not feeling well. I was out. So my sickness started on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. It started with stomach flu. Okay. I ate something called tiger nuts. Okay. Tiger nuts. And I ate it on Friday, and towards the ending of Friday, I felt a little weird. On Saturday, it kind of started, and I went for a walk. I came back, I ate pasta. My pasta could not digest. Like, my food was just hinged. The damn thing wasn't digesting. And I decided to eat ginger, like real ginger. I cut it up and I chewed it. This was Saturday night because my dinner could not digest. The thing was just stopped. Like, I was so uncomfortable. And when I chewed ginger, what that did was, of course, you guys know that ginger is a very healthy remedy, okay? It's a very healthy remedy for most of the sickness, whether if it is stomach flu, whether if it is fever, whether if it is sore throat, whether if it is runny nose. Ginger always does the job most of the time, if not all the time. It's a very good remedy for most of the sickness, the normal sickness that we normally get. So I ate a lot of ginger. That literally went down my stomach, because what it does is when you chew it and swallow the water, right, and you spit out, you could choose to spit out the it's almost like eating sugar cane. If you guys know what sugar cane is, you eat sugar cane, you suck up the water, and you spit out the other stuff, right? So that was what I did. I ate ginger. The good thing about it is the water from the ginger went inside my stomach and helped to absorb whatever toxic that was in my stomach. While the ginger that I ate was helping the chemical or the substance or the toxic in my stomach, the thing then mutated for some particular. I felt like I was in a Resident Evil movie, yo. Literally. I felt like I was in a Resident Evil video game or something. Like, you know, when you get to a boss fight, right? You get to a boss fight, or like one of the side characters or side soldiers, zombie, you shoot them, instead of them going down, their body mutates into something else. Like, all you Resident Evil fan, gaming fan would know what I'm talking about. Like, when you shoot an enemy in Resident Evil, whether if it is Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, you know, you shoot an enemy, instead of them to go down, the next thing is the what is it called? The parasite, La Plagas, or whatever you want to call it. The parasite in their body morphs into something else and they mutate. That was exactly how I felt Saturday evening. My sickness literally mutated into fever. It mutated into fever. And Sunday morning, I was fucked up, man. I was fucked up Sunday morning. And I kept eating ginger because it was helping mainly on my stomach. Like it was absorbing the toxic, whatever that was in there. And as he mutated into fever, the fever got pretty serious, like literally serious. And I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on? What the hell is going on with me? Sunday night, it got worse. Monday, it got worse, right? Tuesday, I was contemplating, should I go to work or should I call in sick? So I called in sick because I know I will not be able to make it because I was dizzy. And around Tuesday, was Monday evening or Tuesday evening, the thing started to mutate into dry cough. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what the hell is going on here? This is getting out of hand. But I felt the dry cough coming. So I decided to drink Benylin. If you guys know what Benylin is, I took on Benylin to help my situation. So I was able to stop it from advancing into something else because it was going into dry cough. I'm like, no, this I can't be sick with dry cough, fever, runny nose, and at the same time, stomach flu. These four things, I can't have all of them at the same time. So the ginger helped. Of course, I continued to take medication. I continued to rest, sleep a lot. And at one point in the morning, I had to wake myself up, go out for a walk, observe that vitamin C. Because you guys know in the morning sunlight, it's good for your body. It's good. It's very healthy. I went outside. I observed that vitamin C and everything. And the thing didn't heal properly until actually, I would say yesterday or today. But on Friday, though, I had to push myself because I went back to work on Wednesday while sick, and on that Wednesday, I went and I worked out to help, because my muscle was weak. It felt like I felt pain all over my body because that's what fever normally does. It just cripples your muscle, your joints, like you feel like shit, Little AC that you normally enjoy will feel like you're in Antarctica or something. Fuck. So that happened. I went to the gym on Wednesday, did a little bit of workout to help strengthen my body and my mind and my balance because I was dizzy and everything. And on Friday, again, I went to work out. While I was doing this, it was kind of helping, but I will tell you guys, my sickness didn't really get, I started feeling like myself the last 2 days, or the last one day, to be honest. It was there, but it kept coming on and going, It keeps coming and going. It keeps coming like the flu. So the flu was the last thing that healed itself, that, left my body. And and here I am. Ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? Hope everyone is doing well. It's been quite a minute, and I just wanted to let you guys know why I have been away this whole time. Couple of times during last week, I wanted to come live and to bring something to your attention, but I'm like, I'm not going to be in my best ability. I'm not going to do it in my best ability, so I might as well not do it because it's weird while you're sick, you're trying to have a conversation. I've tried that before, actually, and it didn't go as I planned, and I had to end the live stream. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I have a topic to bring to y'all attention, a discussion. Now, for you all Dragon Ball fan, I hope you guys are going to enjoy this topic. This is the 15 best Dragon Ball episodes of all time. Okay, 15 best Dragon Ball episodes of all time. And number one may or may not make you cry. That's what it is. And I think I would do honorable mention if it doesn't, because I'm reading this from an article from CBR. They put up 15 episodes from Dragon Ball, and you're talking about Dragon Ball, the OG Dragon Ball, and then Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, and of course Dragon Ball GT, because that is also canon, right? Based on the previous article from Toyotaro or Kia Toriyama, because each and every Dragon Ball genre that has been produced is now canon. It happened in a different time. Like Dragon Ball Daima is canon, Dragon Ball GT is canon. The only thing is that all these Dragon Ball genres, Dragon Ball sagas happened on a different time. So, I'm going to reveal the article that I'm going through, that I'm going to go through here, and then we will go through them one by one. And I think I might have honorable mention if it doesn't have the episodes that I have on my own list. Okay, but we'll go through it. We'll go through it. So Kia Toriyama's Dragon Ball is one of the best successful multimedia franchise in the world, and it continues to draw in more fans every day, building upon its impressive 40 years legacy. Dragon Ball's franchise has evolved far beyond the original series, humble origins, and there are collectively more than 600 episodes and 20 features films between the various Dragon Ball properties. Each Dragon Ball anime has a distinct energy, but there is something to appreciate in all of them. Dragon Ball is diverse property that caters to many contrasting ideas. At the same time, there are certain Dragon Ball staples that fans accept to find each series. There is no correct answer when it comes to which Dragon Ball series is best. Yet, each series has its share of flawless episodes that represents everything that fans love about the Shonen series. Now, with that being said, let me do a quick poll here. Yeah, I'm setting up a little pool, and you guys can let me know what you think, and we'll also go through it as well. So in Dragon Ball, I will do Saiyan Saga, Namek Saga, Android. Android. saga. Give me a moment, guys. I'm almost done. All right, the pool is available, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know which saga in Dragon Ball Z is your favorite. So let's continue with this article. Now, um, so number 15. Now, like I said earlier, there are 15 best episodes of all time in Dragon Ball. Number 15 is Red Ribbon's Mercenary Tao begins his murderous reign of terror. Now, if I remember this episode very well, Tao is an a-hole. He's an asshole. I do like his character as a villain, although I do admire his character as a villain and what he was able to introduce, yet I can't say that I would choose him over Frieza. Let me just say that now. But his introduction on Dragon Ball episode 59, going up against General Blue, if I'm not mistaken, and taking him out in one shot. Like one shot. He was able to take out General Blue. And after he was done, he did his negotiation. And after his negotiation, I think his deal was, each head he kills, they're going to pay him 120 million zeni, if I'm not mistaken. And when he was given the go ahead to go after Goku, this man literally grabbed a pillar or teared out a pillar, launched it in the air, and jumped on it and went after Goku. His fight with Goku was pretty dope. And I think in a way I can understand why, because General Tao was a very notorious asshole. You know, he was, yeah, I will give it to him. A compelling villain who the audience genuinely fears can make or break a storyline. The Red Ribbon Army bombards Goku with plenty of skilled soldiers. However, Mercenary Tao is a cut above the rest, and his introduction doesn't waste any time. Tao brutally kills Boros, Upa's father. That was before he fought Goku, if I'm not mistaken. When he gets in the way of his Dragon Ball conquest, he also killed General Blue by only using his tongue. That's right. It's an absurd way to highlight Tao's elevated power, and that this new foe has no qualms about killing those who get in his way. Now, like I said, General Tao was a menace of his own. And of course, again, the way he carried himself, his observation, his fight with Goku was very, very funny and very entertaining. If you haven't seen it, please go and rewatch Goku versus General Tao. It was pretty funny. Moving forward, number 14, Goku prepares for the end and takes on Demon King Piccolo. Now, if I remember this episode and Goku fighting King Piccolo, I think it was the 22nd or the 21st tournament of World Martial Art. When Goku faced King Piccolo, it was a great battle. And from that match, I remember when before Goku went through King Piccolo, he was able to use some type of Kamehameha wave or whatever to lift himself up in the air. and went through King Piccolo, like dived literally right through him. He opened the donut on his ass, and King Piccolo was like, "Yeah, my even though you may have won the match, my essence or whatever will never leave this earth," or something. And by saying that, King Piccolo was able to summon his will to create an egg and was able to create another version of himself, which is Piccolo, right? And was able to, that was a good fight. That was a good fight. It's incredibly satisfying to watch Goku mature and become stronger throughout his adventures in the original Dragon Ball. Goku has faced plenty of powerful opponents before the King Piccolo saga. But this villain is a genuine monster who gets too close to nearly ruling the planet. Goku has his work cut out for him against Demon King Piccolo, even after he consumes the Ultra Divine Tree and unlocks his potential. Many fans focus on this fight's conclusion when Goku penetrates through his opponent's abdomen. However, Goku Strikes Back. Goku Strikes Back is when this feud begins, and it's ultimately the better episode. Goku delivers a dazzling battle strategy where he understands that his life is on the line and that this isn't just some sanctioned tournament fight. Now, number 13. Majin Vegeta proves he's serious and prepares for an epic rematch. Now, my goodness. Dragon Ball Z episode 229, Vegeta's Pride. Now, one of the best thing that will put this episode on the map, okay, is even though that the Buu saga, I understand some Dragon Ball audience may think that Buu saga was trash, or the way Vegeta and Goku allowed Majin Buu to be resurrected. But what they fail to realize is, without the Saint's pride, without Goku and Vegeta fighting inside that machine, or inside Babudi's trap to awaken Majin Buu, we wouldn't have gotten Vegito, and we wouldn't have gotten Mystic Gohan. And I'm gonna say there are many things that happen. There are many good things that came from Buu being resurrected. But anyways, going back to this fight. First off, Goku comes back to the world to, participate in the next tournament. And of course, Vegeta has been training for a long time. And Vegeta, knowing that Goku will be taking part in this tournament, had to train Vegeta has been training ever since the defeat of Cell. Vegeta has been constantly training, because knowing the full fact that Gohan is no longer training as he should. In fact, Gohan lost his edge because he focused into studying, to be a scholar and all of that stuff. Vegeta took it upon himself to train his ass off, because, as you know, no one knows when the next threat is going to come. So Vegeta training so much, and at this point seeing Goku and wanting to prove himself to Goku, and Vegeta has been waiting for this rematch for a very long ass time. So, as destiny would have it, Deborah and Barbody comes in, and of course Vegeta and Pew Pew. Vegeta literally decimated Pew Pew, and then it was Gohan's turn, if I'm not mistaken. Gohan took on Deborah, And while Vegeta was on the sideline watching this fight, spectating this fight, seeing that Gohan has lost his way over the years, Gohan's senses was just trash. Gohan's adaptability was just trash. Gohan could have easily defeated Deborah had he not lost his edge. Due to this, Vegeta was furious, Vegeta was mad, Vegeta was just disappointed because here you are, you're supposed to be the best version of us. You're supposed to be the next hero. You're supposed to, you know, after what we've been through, you lost your edge and you can't even sense your opponent. You're trash now. Vegeta was not happy. And of course, Deborah being a Vectrean, noticed what Vegeta was doing, noticed Vegeta's anger, and went to Babidi and told Babidi to take over use his power to take over Vegeta's mind so that they can use Vegeta because Deborah sensed the hatred. And you guys also know deep down Vegeta has been wanting to fight Goku. Vegeta has been wanting to go back to his old ways. Of course, you can say that he was lying to himself. He wasn't really honest, but he wanted to be let loose, right? And Babidi agreed and started messing with Vegeta. And why this episode was called Vegeta's Pride, I remember vividly when Babidi was messing with Vegeta, was controlling every muscle, every fiber in Vegeta's body. And when Babidi thought that he had Vegeta where he wanted him, Vegeta could not let in. One of the things that made this episode interesting is the fact that Vegeta said, even though you may control my body, even though you may control my muscle, but there is something that is saying will always keep his pride. My goodness, that was epic, ladies and gentlemen. Vegeta could not allow, and again, let's not forget that Vegeta allowed himself to be controlled by Babidi. He welcomed Babidi inside his body because he wanted a power that can allow him to let loose a power that can allow him not to think about Bulma, a power that can allow him to let loose, not to think about his son or anybody, right? In order to bring himself to fight Goku, because Vegeta has been wanting to fight Goku and to show Goku what he's made out of. So Babidi was like, what the hell? This is the very first time that the controller or the controllee is telling the controller what to do. Babidi was shocked because this is the first time this has happened to him. And of course, with the persuasion of Deborah telling Babidi to let him go, to let Vegeta get what he wants for now, because at the end of the day, the power that he will be producing will definitely go in the resurrection of Majin Buu. So it's a win-win. Allow Vegeta to do his thing for now. We will get to him later. And then that was when Goku realized, and I believe Supreme Kai realized, damn man, Vegeta, you stood this low that you allowed your body to be taken over by Babidi. You are better than that. And you can see the smile on Vegeta's face. It is so iconic. I remember when Vegeta turned his head like this. Like when he was smiling and he turned his... he gave Goku this evil smile, man. That was just... I was like, oh my goodness. And before you know what is going on, Vegeta knew that Goku will not budge unless he did some terrible things. And Vegeta, knowing who Goku is, Vegeta started to murder people in the arena. And the iconic part of that episode as well, or during that time, was when Goku looked out and saw what the amount of damage Vegeta has done, the amount of people, the amount of bloodshed Vegeta has done. When he looked at Vegeta, you can tell. I was like, oh shit. Oh, damn, it's about to happen. Goku is about to lose it. That was iconic. So I will put this episode. This episode definitely belongs in one of the best episode in Dragon Ball in Dragon Ball series. I mean, I can go on and on about Majin Vegeta, what he was able to do, his interaction with Goku. I remember Goku told Supreme Kai, "Step aside, or else I'm gonna kill you." And Goku raised his palm up, and at one point I was like, "Yo, is Goku about to send Supreme Kai to the next life, or to is he about to send him to the next afterlife or whatever?" Goku is not like that, but at that point, Goku was ready to do anything to give Vegeta what he's been wanting, right? So this episode does belong definitely to. So Dragon Ball Z properly redeems Vegeta and turns him into one of Earth's greatest heroes. That being said, he backslides during the Buu saga and lets his selfish, jealous impulse get the better of him when he succumbs to Babadi's manipulation sorcery and becomes Majin Vegeta. Dragon Ball Z embrace how terrifying it would be if Vegeta decides to return to his dark ways, especially now he's stronger than ever. Vegeta's pride proves that Vegeta isn't just playing around here. He killed innocent world tournament spectators in order to force Goku into fighting him. This intense attack doesn't begin until the following episode, but Vegeta's pride focuses on the emotional turmoil of this decision. Goku must accept that Vegeta has lost control of himself and that he needs to fight him, even if this causes Buu's awakening in the process. Yeah, this episode definitely belongs. Okay, if I was doing this list, this episode definitely belongs. So number 12, Goku's second world tournament loss is followed by an ever or even greater tragedy. Dragon Ball Episode 101, The Fallen. Dragon Ball faces a tall task when it comes to making the second world martial arts tournament. I believe that was when Goku fought Tien, right? Superior to its predecessor. But it boldly accomplishes this task. Goku's final fight against Tien is completely different from his past fight against Roshi, but it's equally compelling. These two are evenly matched, and there is propel suspense over who will be victorious right up until the fight's final unconventional moments. As much as The Fallen marks the conclusion of the Ten Shenhan saga, it is seamlessly segues into the King Piccolo saga. I hope I pronounced that word correctly. The audience tragically understands that the episode's title has a double meaning and that it's in reference to something much darker than Goku and Tien's tournament plummets. The episode's final moments involve Goku finding Krillin's corpse. The world tournament runner-up finds his best friend dead and struggles to process this mighty loss. Now, number 11, Future Trunks triggers a sane paradigm shift and kills Frieza. Dragon Ball Z Episode 121. another Super Saiyan. Now, I can understand totally why this episode had to make the list. Simply because you all remember Namek Saga, everything that went on in Namek Saga, knowing the fact that Goku was training with the people of Yai-Draft. And as soon as Frieza was recovered, as soon as his operation was done, the next thing Frieza said as soon as he woke up was, "Take me to Earth." That was the one thing Frieza said as soon as this guy was fixed up. Now you can tell like he took a lot of beating because Frieza was there when the planet exploded. So the injury, the after effect kind of messed him up a little bit. But as soon as this guy was treated, as soon as they put him back together with some robotic mechanical attributes to compartmentalize his body, almost like a Mecha Frieza, this guy said, "Take me to Earth," because he's going to continue his revenge against the Z Warriors. So knowing the full fact that Frieza is coming to Earth, there is nobody to take him on. At that point, even though Vegeta has been training, his powers is still no match against Frieza, because remember, this was Frieza still in his fourth form. And if I recall correctly, when those scientists was fixing him up, they told King Cole that he is even stronger than how he was before. Okay? They told King Cole, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, the scientist told King Cole that he is even stronger and faster than he was before. So meaning that however power level Frieza was when he fought Goku in planet Namek, he is stronger than that. So here you have Frieza coming to Earth. And not just that, King Cole is with his son Frieza. So these two power menacing, hunger menacing, a-hole, power hungry, revenge hungry are coming to Earth. Frieza in his fourth form, stronger than he was before. King Cole, probably stronger than Frieza in Frieza's second transformation, because King Cole stayed in his second transformation and never changed. And you guys rest assured know, based on the fact that he's Frieza's father, he's older than Frieza, he's probably been into more battles than Frieza, he's probably stronger than Frieza in that second base. So you can just rest assured know. And not just that, the henchmen with their gadgets, you know, at that particular moment, at that particular time, Vegeta cannot handle Frieza. Piccolo at that time is not strong enough to handle Frieza. I'm not sure if he went and merged with Kame, if that will make a difference. But even if Piccolo decides to go and merge with Kame, by the time he gets back, if Frieza had decided to blow up Earth, he would have done it, right? So it was very crucial. I remember when I watched during the time, my first time watching Dragon Ball Z, during this time, I was terrified because Goku is nowhere to be found. Well, we know where he is, but by the time Goku makes it to Earth, it will be too late. It will be too late. Nobody, even if Vegeta, Piccolo, and the rest of the Z Warriors decides to tag team on Frieza, still that will not work. And I don't think King Cole will sit quietly and watch them get one up on his son. Even if Vegeta, Piccolo, and the rest of the Z Warriors can maybe somehow, in some way, shape, or form, touch Frieza and be able to get the best of him, still, King Cole will not sit around. And on top of that, Frieza can just blow up planet Earth. So it was imperative to see Who is going to be the savior here? What will the Z fighters do? What will Z warriors do to help themselves in this predicament? Right? And I remember when Frieza's spaceship was about to touch the ground, when Frieza's spaceship went over the Z warrior's head, as mighty as he was, as big as he was, the Z warriors was like, yes, we can sense Frieza in this damn spaceship. But then again, that there is a bigger power level close to him. What the hell is going on? I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my, and I don't think at that point, I don't think Vegeta has ever met King Cold. I remember, based on what we know now on Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, when King Cold came on planet Vegeta with his son to introduce his son to planet Vegeta because he's about to retire. Vegeta at that time was a baby. So I don't think Vegeta has actually met King Cold face to face, because when Vegeta grew up a little bit, went on missions with his father, Frieza took him away from his father to raise him himself. So Vegeta doesn't know what probably I'm sure he has heard of King Cold, but he has never met him or sensed the might of his power. So you can just understand what is going on inside Vegeta's mind at this point. This guy killed me on planet Namek, and now that I'm revived, he will torture me and he will kill me. And on top of that, there's another threat with him inside the spaceship. I was like, what's going on? And when the spaceship opened up, Frieza's men lined up, just like they lined up on Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, and Frieza comes out, and I'm like, okay, here we are. Here we are. Who is going to step up? Is Piccolo going to step up? Will Vegeta step up? Who is going to step up? Because Earth is doomed at this point. And as we would have it, Trunks shows up. I'm like, who is this character? I'm sure each and every one of you guys were speculating, like, what the hell is going on? Who is this new character who we've never seen before, ever before? So the more Trunks, or let me say future Trunks, the more he spoke, the more it was starting to make sense who he kind of is. Because when he told Frieza, I know you're here to take out the Z Warriors. I know you're here because of Goku. But guess what? You're not gonna be able to meet Goku. So I'm like, okay, this new character knows who Goku is. Could he have been someone Goku met in space or somehow in Yardrath where Goku was training? Could he be a friend of Goku that we didn't know of? Or could he be a new acquaintance that Goku has met on planet Yardrath? Who could this new character be? And then the more Trunks said something, the more he continued to conversate with Frieza, the more it was starting to be clear that this guy is another Saiyan. And then he transforms. And while he was transforming, you could see the terror in Frieza's eyes. When he told Frieza, you're not going to meet Goku, and let's not forget, you're about to meet another Super Saiyan. Frieza cracked up a little bit, because you know how Frieza is. You know, he's the one that made this, he was the one that made the Saiyans extinct. He killed them all. He blew up their planet. So he knows who is who. And he understands very well that there is no other Saiyan out there except Goku that can really go toe-to-toe with him. Of course, that was what we know back then. Of course, there is Broly somewhere. But so Frieza is very confident that there's no other Super Saiyan out there. First of all, this was a legend, and Goku transforming into a Super Saiyan on planet Namek was a one-time deal. There's no other Super Saiyan out there. If there was, I would have known by now. So Frieza was very nonchalant about the situation until Trunks or future Trunks started to power up. When the rubble started going up and hit Frieza's face, that caught Frieza's attention. And Trunks continues to power up. One second. And then, as soon as Trunks' eyes went from, I forgot what the color of his eyes was. As soon as he turned to green, Frieza was like, "Holy shit! They have the same eyes. They have the same eyes." And then you get a glimpse of Goku in that. I'm telling you guys, that Namek saga gave Frieza PTSD, post-traumatic stress. That Namek saga gave Frieza concussion. He gave Frieza PTSD because as soon as he saw Trunks' eyes turn into green, you get a glimpse of Goku in his head saying, "Frieza!" Yo, Frieza was scared. He was traumatized. Namek traumatized Frieza to a degree that we didn't understand until he saw another Saiyan standing in front of him, about to cause problems for him. Frieza remembered his fight with Goku. He remembered Goku's eyes. He remembered all the ass whooping Goku gave him on planet Namek. So Frieza was like, "Holy shit." As if dealing with Goku wasn't enough. As if the trauma this guy named Goku gave me on planet Namek, now I gotta have to deal with another Saiyan. This is gonna turn into a bad day. This is another bad day coming. This is a bad news Barrett coming. And then Frieza, without shadow of a doubt, without wasting any time, fires at Trunks right away. So this episode does belong in one of the best episodes on Dragon Ball Z. Because Trunks gave Frieza 3 shots. Future Trunks allowed Frieza to hit him 3 times. After the 3rd time, Trunks went after him and literally turned Frieza into ice cubes and blew Frieza up right in front of King Ko, and King Ko could not believe his eyes. So this episode does belong as one of the best episodes in Dragon Ball genre. So let's move on to the next one. Well, let me read something here. Dragon Ball Z's post-Frieza saga material is such an exciting change of pace that it explores the idea that the Super Saiyan transformation is more accessible than everyone believed. Future Trunks' introduction remains one of Dragon Ball's best character debuts. Yet, this momentous arrival hits even harder because of Future Trunks' casual Super Saiyan transformation. At this point, audience didn't know that anyone beyond Goku would be capable of this form. Future Trunks' shifts opens Dragon Ball Z up to exciting opportunities and a more challenging tier of threats. Future Trunks' effortlessly destruction of Frieza symbolized the changing of the guard and how what used to be intimidating is now child's play. So what they're trying to say here, that Future Trunks coming and whooping Frieza ass with less amount of effort shift the whole tier. And I remember after the defeat of Frieza and King Ko, and Trunks powered down and was able to meet with the Z Warriors, you could tell how Vegeta was looking at him. If I recall, Vegeta did not believe that there is another Saiyan out there who has the capability of transforming into Super Saiyan, because Vegeta knows his race very well. Vegeta was undeniable. Even though when Gohan Piccolo was telling him, when everyone saw that, that was a Super Saiyan, he turned into, it's like, that's insane. Vegeta is like, ain't no way this guy is a Super Saiyan, even though he saw it with his own two naked eyes, right? Oh man. Number 10, perfected Ultra Instincts Goku and Super Full Power Jiren fight to the finish. Dragon Ball Super Episode 130, the greatest showdown of all time, the ultimate survival battle. Now, I remember this episode vividly when Goku perfected, not necessarily perfected, when he turned into the real autonomous Ultra Instincts. And he went after Jiren, and him and Jiren were going at it. One of the things that made this episode, I can understand why this episode made it on the list, is the simple fact that everything that went on before Goku turned into Ultra Instincts. The battle between Goku and Jiren, even we can go before that. Goku and Vegeta teaming up to take on Jiren and failed. Vegeta, about to be eliminated, on his way out, gives his last power. The last power he had, the last energy he has in him, to Goku, helping Goku to continue to fight. And Goku, using Spirit Bomb, tries to hit Jiren with it. Jiren sends it right back to Goku. And the Spirit Bomb blowing up while Goku was in the middle of it. And everybody thought, it's over. Goku is done. Goku is no more. Even Beerus could not believe that Goku is... Actually, no. Beerus said, is this it, Saiyan? Is this it, Saiyan? Like, everybody was shocked. Beerus was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is happening. And then, while the two Zeno were about to kick Goku out, while they were about to eliminate Goku, in that very moment, it happened. The rubble where Goku was started to vibrate. It started vibrating, and Whis tells Beerus, can you feel it? And Beerus says, yes, here he comes. Oh my goodness. I remember doing a reaction to that episode. It was one of the most hyped moment in Dragon Ball Super. That moment was so epic when Goku got up and starts to vibrate the whole arena. And while he was doing his thing, you could just see the change in him. And when we starts to explain what happened, that the Spirit Bomb energy coursed right into Goku's body, and Goku was able to absorb a little of that power of the Spirit Bomb, and you could see the gap that Jiren gave Goku closed. Goku closed the gap in that moment between himself and Jiren. And of course, when he tapped into the final stage that we knew at the time of autonomous instincts, that was when his hair went into pure light, pure white hair, and he went after Jiren. And I remember when he made this move and punched Jiren, that was when Jiren decided to attack his super warriors, right? When Jiren was like, where are you getting all this power? How are you able to gain this power? How is it that you do not give up? What is your motivation? And when he realized that Goku's motivation is his will to be his absolute best, is his will to save his friend, is his will to be the hero of his universe, Jiren decides to attack what Goku loves the most. And Goku was able to deflect his attack. And in that moment, Goku turned full Ultra Instincts and said, whoever goes after my friend, I will make them pay. Something within that line. And he launches to Jiren and gave Jiren a devastating punch. I don't think Jiren has felt that punch in his entire life. You could see Jiren's two eyeballs were about to pop out. His two eyeballs were literally about to pop out. 1 second. You know, so I can understand why this episode, this moment, had to be in this list as one of the best episode in Dragon Ball series. Even when I reacted to this episode, I was so hyped that it's just unbelievable. Even Ultra Instincts alone broke the internet when Goku turned into Ultra Instinct. That was a huge moment. That was a huge moment because at the point where the spirit bomb hit Goku and everybody was going on, what's gonna happen now? And even before then, you could literally see that Goku, Vegeta, even with them fighting together against Jiren, they could not do anything against Jiren. And to know at that very moment when Goku and Vegeta were fighting Jiren together, Jiren was barely doing anything. He wasn't turning his power. He was just in his base level, you know. And they built Jiren so strong before this moment happened when Goku turned Ultra Instinct. They built him up so strong that everybody was like, what will it take to take this bald-headed, alien-looking, Frieza-looking guy out, you know? So it was an interesting moment, and nobody, like, we knew Goku is going to be the one who is going to go toe-to-toe with Jiren, but I did not know what this new power will look like, because I wasn't reading manga. I still don't read manga now. Like, nobody knew. I was anticipating what will the next level be, because Goku has used everything he got. Goku has used up everything. He's used Kaioken with Super Saiyan Blue. You know, he has teamed up with Vegeta. He has used Kaioken times whatever. Nothing worked. Nothing was budging against Jiren. Jiren was just badass. So to this moment where the gap has closed and Goku is going after Jiren, and it was just awesome. So this episode deserves to be in this list. Dragon Ball Super's final episode is a satisfying release after an extreme long endurance match. However, the series' penultimate installment features this chaos climax. Goku temporarily taps into perfected Ultra Instincts, which he uses to do as much damage as possible to Jiren, who himself has ascended to his super full power state. Dragon Ball Super's visuals for these two powerhouses, who are brimming with energy, are some of the anime's best looking material. Goku's comeback with Jiren is exceptional. Indeed, it was exceptional. And Frieza's surprise save is Frieza's surprise save is a rewarding moment that's earned after dozens of episodes of anxiety. It's a suspenseful episode that successful setup the finale while still feeling complete on its own. Now, I'm not gonna, I will also add, this might be one of my, I will say this will be one of my honorable mention. The episode where Frieza started fighting with Goku, the episode where Frieza teamed up with Goku to fight, teamed up with Goku and Android 17 to push Jiren out of the ring, that episode was bananas. So even though we're not at the end of this, we're not at the end of all of this, but if this episode, the episode where Frieza teamed up with Goku and Android 17 didn't make it here, I would say that would be an honorable mention. And I will talk about it if that episode didn't make it in this list. So, number 9, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta turns Dragon Ball GT's strongest foe into a joke. Dragon Ball GT episode 60, Super Saiyan 4 Fusion. Now, I will say to each his own, but I can understand why this episode made it in the list as well. Simply because during Dragon Ball GT, Omega Shinran, his desire and his reasons to destroy Earth, I would say that it was very understandable, because I remember the Z Warriors were using Dragon Ball wishes willy-nilly. Bulma used it to get young and all of that. They were making bad choices with that Dragon Ball. And in that point, Super Saiyan 4 Goku couldn't do anything to Omega Shinran. And at that point, we're like, what is going to happen? How will Goku be able to beat this guy? When Omega Shinran emerged, it was like, it's over for everybody. It is literal, and it was over for everybody because Goku couldn't do anything. At that point, Vegeta was only able to transform into Super Saiyan 2, which is very bad. Well, I would say he was able to transform into the strongest version of Super Saiyan 2. Now, I'm not sure in that point, or at that point, I think Vegeta is stronger than Gohan at that point, if I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but you can quote me on the comment section if I'm wrong. So, Vegeta was in his Super Saiyan 2 form and has not transcended. Goku was the only one who was going toe-to-toe with Omega Shinran. And then, Vegeta shows up and tells Goku, the battlefield is about to change hands. Something between that line. Things are about to get heat up. Things are about to get kicked up a notch from here on out. And then Bulma shows up with her space aircraft machine and hits Vegeta. Well, before then, Vegeta said, how will it feel if Omega Shinran fights with two Super Saiyans, with two Super Saiyan 4? And Goku was like, what did you say? And Vegeta was like, where is that woman? And before he could finish his sentence, Bulma shows up. And Bulma hits Vegeta with the Blood's Wave. And Vegeta transformed into transformed into Ozoro, Golden Ozoro at first. And then when he was able to go through another transformation, he was able to transform into Super Saiyan 4. And then Vegeta, knowing fully well that if him and Goku attacks Omega Shinran, they will lose, Vegeta then gave the suggestion that the two should fuse, that is the only choice, that is the only chance they will have against Omega Shinran. Which Goku agreed, which they did, giving us Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, right? And now, depending on how much of a GT fan you are, I can understand why this episode made it. Because up until Vegeta shows up, gets hit gets hit with that Blood's wave, becomes Super Saiyan 4, fuses with Goku. That was such a moment, right? Because you could see that the power difference is just vast between Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta versus Omega Shinron. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was making Shinron looks like a chump, right? It was almost like when Krillin found out that Ginyu, who stole Goku's body, tried to use Goku power and couldn't use it. When as soon as Krillin found out that Ginyu, Captain Ginyu, inside Goku's body had only 20,000 power level, Krillin jumped on his ass like there's no tomorrow. And you can tell that Krillin has been wanting to fight Goku for a long time. So he was going in his head, if I couldn't beat Goku, this would be my very best chance to really whoop Goku's ass. Krillin jumped Captain Ginyu right away and whooped his ass for a bit. So that was a big moment in Dragon Ball GT episode 60, because in that point, or before that point, it was like all hope is lost because Goku could not do anything against Omega Shinron, and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta brought such a power level that it was so powerful that their fusion ran out. Their fusion expired within, I think it was 1 minute or 2 minutes, based on the fact that they are so strong and their power is so superior that their fusion could not maintain itself for a longer period of time. And you can tell after Omega Shinron experienced Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, he would not allow them to do it again. Omega Shinron said, it will be over my dead body to let you guys fuse once again, because he has tasted the vast power level of Gogeta. So this moment, this episode, needed to be in this list. Goku's Super Saiyan 4 transformation is one of Dragon Ball GT's biggest talking point. Vegeta also reaches this milestone during the anime's final episode, which allows for a 2-on-1 Super Saiyan 4 showdown against Omega Shinron. Vegeta doesn't accomplish much on his own, but his presence does prompt a fusion dance that results in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Gogeta has since become canon in Dragon Ball Super Broly, but this glimpse of him with Super Saiyan 4 is such a satisfying showcase of strength. The whole episode is just Gogeta trolling. They use the word trolling Omega Shinron, which completely flips the previous dynamic and humbles this terrifying threat. Gogeta's antics and confidence are a creative change of pace. Unfortunately, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's power is so extreme that it leads to the fusion permanently breaking, and this once again becomes Goku's fight to win. All right. Number 8. Oh my goodness. Okay. Vegeta marks a major Super Saiyan milestone in the Demon Ram. Dragon Ball Daima Episode 12, True Strength. Now, the reason why I believe that this episode totally deserves. One second, guys. Now, the reason why I can totally understand wholeheartedly, undisputably, why this episode is important is simply because, number one, at the time this episode happened, or let me say before this episode happened, each and every Dragon Ball fan has always asked this question. If you're a Dragon Ball fan and you have never asked this question that I'm about to ask, that means I'm not sure if you're a true Dragon Ball fan. Each Dragon Ball fan has always wondered, how come Vegeta never obtained Super Saiyan 3? How come? How come Vegeta never transformed into Super Saiyan 3? If Goku could do it, hell yeah, Vegeta could do it. How come we never saw him become Super Saiyan 3? The closest thing that we were able to see or we witnessed was when Beerus slapped Bulma and Vegeta said, "That's my Bulma," and turned into, I'm not sure what to call it, but that form was so strong that Vegeta in that moment surpassed Goku Super Saiyan 3. And for the very first time, Vegeta was the first actually to lay his hand on Beerus. Because when Beerus went to Goku and fought Goku, Goku couldn't touch Beerus. Goku couldn't, even in his Super Saiyan 3, Goku could not touch Beerus. Vegeta was the first to hit Beerus. So, and of course, the fans has been speculating ever since then, how come Vegeta never obtained Super Saiyan 3? Now, this episode, Dragon Ball Daima episode 12, of course, they gave it a name. I think Vegeta called it Vegeta something something. I forgot the name they gave it, but to me, that's Super Saiyan 3. Okay? I think Vegeta called it Vegeta Ultra Super Saiyan or something. But I call it Super Saiyan 3 because it has every attributes of Super Saiyan 3. This was a big moment. This moment when Vegeta transformed into Super Saiyan 3, it was a special moment because the audience has been wishing, wanting, hoping, yearning for Vegeta to gain this power. And another interesting thing about this episode was when Vegeta did turn into this form, Bulma said that he has had this form for a very long time, which goes to show that Vegeta has been able to turn into Super Saiyan 3 for a very long time. The thing is when did Vegeta obtain Super Saiyan 3? My guess will be Vegeta was able to turn into Super Saiyan 3 after his squabble with Beerus, when Beerus slapped Bulma. Because if you guys remember, Vegeta was so strong in that point that his power level surpassed Goku Super Saiyan 3. And I guess after that fight, before Whis or Vegeta begged Whis to train him, I believe that Vegeta obtained this form. But him knowing fully well that even this form will not be audible against Beerus. That was the reason why we never saw it. That was the reason why he kept it at bay. That was the reason why he kept it hidden. Because he knows that even this form is not enough to go against or go up against Beerus. He needed something more. And also based on the fact that he saw what Goku was able to becoming a Super Saiyan God, he knew that this Ultra form will not cut it. That was the reason why Vegeta went to Whis, pleaded with him to train him, because Vegeta knows that he needs something more, right? So Vegeta has had this form, my guess will be after, "That's my Bulma!" Like, this guy was so crazy after seeing his Bulma, after seeing Bulma slapped by Beerus, he went berserk. I think that actually gave him a post trauma stress or whatever, PTSD or something, because the way he was acting, it was like I've never seen Vegeta that mad. If I believe Vegeta getting angry when Gohan and Krillin tricked him with the Dragon Ball on planet Namek, how mad he was. His pupil was gone when he was chasing them. That when he turned into that form to fight Beerus, after seeing Beerus slap Bulma, I think it was close to that. I don't know. So this form definitely deserved to be on the list. Dragon Ball Daima was initially dismissed as a disposal side story that wouldn't be able to feature any new transformations due to it being sandwiched between Kid Buu's defeat and Beerus' arrival in the grander Dragon Ball timeline. Daima subverts these expectations with several new forms for its central characters, including the first canonical appearance of Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. I'm so glad that they called it Super Saiyan 3 here. Okay? I am so glad they called it Super Saiyan because that's what I call it too. That ultra nonsense, I don't understand that. Okay, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Vegeta is still stuck in his mini form when he triggers this transformation during his fight against Tamagami number 2. That being said, this doesn't hold Vegeta back. He decimates the Demon Realm Dragon Ball Guardian and shows audience that Super Saiyan 3 doesn't have to be a French form. Vegeta's coordinated attack on Tamagami number 2 is easily one of his best fights of the entire franchise and an opportunity for him to let loose without holding back. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think that Vegeta's fight with Tamagami number 2 is one of his best fight. I don't think so. Vegeta's fight against, like, there's so many ways to describe Vegeta's fight. Vegeta is a street fighter. Like he knows how to play mind games. Vegeta's fight with what's his name? On Namek. Vegeta's fight with Zarbon was a good fight. Vegeta's fight with Goku, of course, was a good fight. Vegeta's fight against Second Cell form was a good fight. Vegeta's fight against Android 21 or Android 19, if I'm not mistaken. The fat ass android. His fight with him was good because even Vegeta has, like, when it comes to mental fighting, Vegeta has it hands down. I don't think even Piccolo called it out. During the beginning of Android Saga, Piccolo called it out that Vegeta, because if you guys remember, when Android 19 sucked up Vegeta's powers, Vegeta was very weak in that state. But he had so much confidence. He has so much confidence oozing out of him that Dr. Gero couldn't attack him. Even at that point, he begged Dr. Gero to attack him, that he can attack him if he wants, since his partner has sucked up all his powers. The smile on Vegeta's face, taunting Dr. Gero, the fact that and you guys know, Dr. Gero is not a kid. He's lived long enough. And knowing his experience, there's no way, like, he doesn't know when someone is bluffing. But based on the fact that Vegeta is such a mental street fighter, when it comes to mind games, he has it over Goku times 20. Dr. Gero was so scared of Vegeta, was so scared to attack Vegeta that he flee. Piccolo called it out that Vegeta has such a mental game that his mental game is just off the chart. Because if Dr. Gero had attacked Vegeta in that moment, he would have had a good chance to defeat Vegeta. But based on the fact that Vegeta is such a mental mind game analyst, that Dr. Gero didn't call him bluff. Dr. Gero ran away. And as you guys notice, as soon as Dr. Gero flee, the next thing Vegeta said to Krillin is, give me one of those nasty sensu beans. Because Vegeta knows his power is so drained that if he goes after Dr. Gero just like that, he will be at a disadvantage. Piccolo, like that moment, Piccolo was starting to have respect for Vegeta. He was starting to respect Vegeta. And of course, when Vegeta decided to kill himself to save the Earth, when Vegeta decided to blow himself up against his fight with the Fat Boo, he also got Piccolo's respect to another level. But moving on. So this episode right here, I'm not sure if this episode deserved, I guess I can say it deserves to be here simply because he gave the fans what they've been yearning for. He gave the Dragon Ball community the answer, the vision, or the visual they've been yearning for a very long time, which is seeing Vegeta turn into Super Saiyan 3. So shout out to that. Number 7. Dragon Ball Super concludes its Tournament of Power with a satisfying surprise. Dragon Ball Super Episode 131, a miraculous conclusion. Farewell, Goku, until we meet again. Okay, episode 131. I guess I don't think this episode deserves to be here. I don't think this, unless if episode 131 was the same episode where Frieza teamed up with Goku and Android 17 to take out Jiren. If this is not that episode, I don't think this episode deserves to be here simply because, there are other episodes that deserve to be here. Although we're still going down the list, but I don't think this episode deserves to be here. Martial arts competitions are par for the course in Dragon Ball, but none have ever had the scope of Dragon Ball Super's Tournament of Power, which becomes the anime's longest storyline. The anime's final episode concludes Universe 7's Periculous clash against Jiren. There is a lot to love in how all this plays out, including genuine teamwork between Goku and Frieza. I mentioned that, which is something that would have previously felt impossible. Furthermore, Android 17's fake out and eventually victory is a fun resolution that's truly unexpected but completely believable. So, indeed, guys, Frieza teaming up with Goku is part of episode 131. So, I would say this episode deserves to be in the list because ain't no way, and I mean no way, even if I saw this in a dream, I would still say I am going cuckoo. Before this moment, even if I have dreamt that Goku would one day work with Frieza, that Frieza would one day work with Goku, if I had seen that in a dream, I would have been like, you know what, I'm going cuckoo. I'm not all right in the head. simply because the history between these two is just filled with animosity. It's just filled with hate. It's just filled with aggression. Seeing these two working together, of course, Frieza had to do it simply because he had no choice. It's either he does it or he dies. So he had to bring himself to work with Goku. So it is an impeccable episode. So indeed, it deserves to be in the list. Okay, Dragon Ball Super finale deserves a lot of credit for how it breaks free of past patterns and gives someone other than Goku an opportunity to shine. However, these accomplishments are diluted by the final episode's extremely abrupt resolution. It doesn't feel like the end of the story, and the final goodbyes, while cathartic, are rushed and inauthentic. Sorry, I'm having a hard time here for some reason. It's no surprise that Dragon Ball Super story continues in its corresponding manga. I gotta drink water, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. So, number 6, Vegeta atones for his sins and sacrifice himself to wipe out Buu. Dragon Ball Z episode 237, Final Atonement. Now, this episode deserves to be in the list. This episode, if I will rate episodes to be on the list starting from number 1, this episode has to make the top 3 or top 4 moment in Dragon Ball series. And as you all know, if I'm talking about Dragon Ball, I am talking about Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, GT, Super, and so forth. This moment deserved to be in the list. This moment was when Vegeta, knowing fully well that he's about to die, he knows that Buu will definitely kill him. And he thought that the only way to save Earth, let me not get there. Let me not get to this point just yet. Let's go back a little bit. Vegeta fights with Goku, tricks Goku by hitting Goku at the back of the head, eating some sensu beans, because he wants to prove to Goku that he is not the only one who can save people. He is not the only one who can save planet Earth. Vegeta decided, because when Goku and Vegeta felt Buu's power, Goku suggested for them to go fight Buu together. Even though these two were the reason why Buu was resurrected, them feeling, when they felt the depths of Majin Buu's power, Goku suggested to go fight Buu together. Or let me say, Goku couldn't concentrate with his battle with Vegeta because he knows how strong he can feel Buu's power. He could feel that Buu's power is still, there's more to his power. And Vegeta, of course, tricked Goku and hit him at the back of his head because Vegeta wanted to do this all by himself. He does not want to share his moment with Goku. He doesn't want to share the battlefield with Goku anymore. He wanted to do this all by himself. And I can guess the reason why Vegeta is starting to feel this way is simply because Goku has been away for a very long time. and knowing the fact that Gohan has lost his edge, Vegeta, I think Vegeta put it upon himself, even though he was saying all those things. Oh, I want to be my old self again. I want to be ruthless. I want to kill upon notice. I want to kill without remorse. Being with you guys has diluted me to something else. I'm even babysitting now. I'm going to the mall. I'm driving my kids to school instead of flying. I've become weak, even though he said all those things. But I think deep down, Vegeta has now put it upon himself to be the savior of planet Earth. Simply because Goku has died, Gohan has lost his edge in fighting. Gohan doesn't fight anymore. So Vegeta, knowing that he is the number one strongest person on planet Earth, I believe that's the reason why he wanted to shine this time. He didn't want to share the battlefield with Goku. And on top of that, knowing that Goku is dead now, he's only going to be on Earth just briefly for one day, and then he's back to the next world, or he's back to the afterlife. Vegeta knows that he's the only one who can keep the race going, who can protect planet Earth. I believe that, and of course, let's not forget his pride, right? His pride as a Saiyan. I believe that's the reason why Vegeta took it upon himself to knock out Goku and go after the Fat Boo to defeat him all by himself. So when Vegeta figured out that he has bitten more than he can chew, he realized that there is no going back from here on out. That seeing how powerful this being is, he must be stopped right now in this very moment. He must be stopped right now. And Vegeta decides to, of course, speak to his son, knock his son out. For the very first time, Vegeta hugged his son. Like this episode there is so many things that happen with this episode. Vegeta hugged his son for the very first time, and he even said it, that, do you know, Trunks, this is my very first time hugging you ever since you've been born. This is my first time hugging you. This is my first time feeling this way. Because Vegeta knows, he knew he's about to die. He knew he's about to sacrifice himself for the sake of somebody else for the very first time. And after Vegeta knocked out Trunks, and of course, Goten, he told Piccolo to take them, but before then, he asked Piccolo, do you think that I will get the same treatment as Kakarot? Man, that question was hard. That was a hard question. Vegeta asking Piccolo, do you think I will get the same treatment? That was hard, man. And Piccolo, not sugarcoating anything, told Vegeta, unfortunately, I don't think you're going to get the same treatment as Goku, because Goku dedicated his whole life, saving other people, putting other people in front of him, putting people first before himself. So when he died, he was allowed to keep his body. When you die, to be honest, not to sugarcoat anything, I don't think you're going to get your body. I don't think you're going to be allowed to keep your body. And Vegeta said, that's all I need to know. Please take the children and go away or fly away. Man, that scene, that moment was hard. Because for the very first time, Piccolo started seeing Vegeta in a different light. Because the two has never liked each other. Even from the first time Piccolo fought Nappa and, with Vegeta, Piccolo has never, those two don't get along. They never got along. But in that moment, Piccolo, man, the respect, even Piccolo said it to Krillin, that this is unbelievable. Even Krillin was shocked. Piccolo was shocked that Vegeta, of all people, will put himself or will put somebody else before himself, Vegeta will be risking his life for the very first time for somebody else beside himself. It was a monumental moment for Vegeta. And that's why the fact that it's called the final atonement. It was epic moment for Vegeta. It was epic moment for Vegeta. So this episode definitely deserves this list. Vegeta has always been one of Dragon Ball's most complex characters, and he heads down a dangerous path during the Buu Saga's climax. Vegeta's margin manipulation helps him return to his dark ways, but he finds the clarity to acknowledge his errors and attempt to go out as a hero. Vegeta, desperate to take out Buu, triggers a complete release of energy that's channeled into a nuclear level explosion. Now, of course, that explosion didn't work on Buu, but it was a good moment for Vegeta. The final explosion is triggered. The final explosion is a tragic sacrifice on Vegeta's part, especially since he's pretty sure that resurrection and retaining his body are off the table for him. That is given a lot of dramatic weight. Vegeta laments his shortcomings and says goodbye to his son before he prepares. He also said goodbye to Kakarot too, before he prepares for what he believes to be his end. It's arguably Vegeta's strongest episode and a bittersweet strategy when Buu survives Vegeta's explosive and sacrificial strike. Now, I believe that episode is one of Vegeta's strongest moments. Of course, there are other moments for Vegeta, such as when he was dying on planet Namek, such as when he spoke with Toppo about his Saiyan's pride. I think it was Toppo or Jiren when he was talking about his Saiyan's pride. I think another good moment for Vegeta or strong moment for Vegeta was Vegeta has had some good moments. It's just that right now it's all scrambled in my head. Of course, his transformation Super Saiyan 3 against Tamagami number 2. Of course, during the Buu saga, when Goku was fighting Majin Buu, Kid Buu, and Vegeta was on the side watching, spectating this fight, and he said, after all this time, I gotta admit, you're better than me, Kakarot. You are the best. Like, for Vegeta to say that, I hope that moment makes it in this list, man. I hope so. So, going forward, number 5, Vegeta and Goku show Goma the true heights of Saiyan strength. Dragon Ball Daima, episode 19, Betrayal. Now this episode, it will be a hit or miss. It will be a hit simply because of Goku turning into Super Saiyan 4. It's a hit simply because of the transformation. It's not a hit because that was supposed to be Vegeta. From what I heard, Vegeta was supposed to get this form instead of Goku. And also, Vegeta's fight with Goma should have continued. Thus, Vegeta was supposed to be the one to get this form. But due to the fact he is not the one that got this form, I will say that this episode is a hit or miss. It's a hit because we got to see Super Saiyan 4 once again in a different color of hair. But it's a miss because it was supposed to be Vegeta who was supposed to get this form. And the way they did Vegeta during this episode or during this arc, when he was fighting Goma, I didn't like what happened. Even though it was comedic, even though it was funny, but in the hindsight of things, they did Vegeta dirty because he was supposed to get this form. So depending on your preference, I don't think this episode deserves to make it. But if you tell me yes, it does, due to the fact of this type of Super Saiyan 4 transformation, I would say you are not wrong. So for me, it's a hit or miss. Dragon Ball Daimers final episodes really don't hold back regarding their action, storytelling, transformations, and visuals. Goku's Super Saiyan 4 transformation becomes the climax to the hero's final fight against Goma. However, Daimers' penultimate episode begins with everyone returning to their adult forms. This becomes an opportunity to showcase not only adult Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Vegeta's assault on Goma becomes the episode's focus, which it was. It was. They were doing well until they took Vegeta out of that fight. While Goku's fight occupies the finale, and it's easily some of the series' finest work. It's an episode that delivers in every department, including what might be Daima's best work. Sorry, best joke. Number 4. Goku ascends to Ultra Instinct's sign as his fight with Jiren intensifies. Dragon Ball Super Episode 110, Goku and candidly the awakened one's new Ultra Instincts. I think this episode goes hand in hand with number 10. Don't you guys think so? This episode goes hand in hand with number 10. Oh man, I have not looked at the chat. Oh, let me go to the chat for a second. I have not looked at the chat ever since this started. All right, thank you guys for your contribution on the chat. Thank you. I will go over a chat line by line, but I don't think there's much. But anyways, let's continue. Let's continue, guys. I think number 4 and number 10 are literally the same thing. I will put number 4 and number 10 in the same category because, you know, it is almost the same thing because Goku was fighting in his full autonomous instincts here. But for what is worth, okay, for what is worth, I will say, because I remember when I talked about number 10, I also talked about number 4. So I will say number 4 is the same as number 10. They go hand in hand because before this time I talked about it. This was Goku starting to tap into his Ultra Instincts form and all of that stuff. So number 4 and number 10 goes hand in hand. Now, number 3. Whew. Number 3. Goku's very first Super Saiyan transformation is an anime defining moment. Dragon Ball Z episode 95. Episode title: Transformed at Last. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this part, this moment right here, this was the defining moment of Dragon Ball franchise. It wasn't really the OG Dragon Ball. It wasn't the Saiyan Saga. It wasn't even Kaioken. This moment here, the very first Super Saiyan transformation, was what transfigured it. Man, before this moment, let me not get to this moment. Before this moment, Goku has been fighting Frieza, getting his ass handed to him every step of the way. Now, mind you, Vegeta has died. And before Vegeta's death, I think Vegeta's death should be in this moment. I will substitute number 10 to Vegeta's death. Okay? Because number 4 and number 10 is typically the same thing. I will substitute number 10 to Vegeta's death on planet Namek. Now, mind you, Vegeta is gone. And before Vegeta died, he opened up and told Goku why he's the way he is, who made him the way he is, the reason why he has turned out the way he is, what happened to their race. Like, Vegeta opened up so much that moment really hit hard. That was a hard, crushing moment. Now Goku is fighting Frieza. Frieza turns up his power to 50%. As soon as Frieza increased his power to 50%, Goku had no atom of chance. Frieza decimated Goku so much that when Goku figured out to use the Spirit Bomb, first of all, Goku started gathering energy from outside planets. Goku started gathering energy from species on planet Namek and species from outside planets. And even then, Goku, due to the fact that his power has been severed so much, he needed Piccolo to fight Frieza for a little bit. And Frieza whooped Piccolo's ass that is like there's no tomorrow. And at one point, Piccolo was like, yo, Goku, what the hell are you still doing? Throw the goddamn Spirit Bomb, because he was getting his ass whooped. He was getting his ass handed to him. You know, Goku gathered energy and was able to hit Frieza with the Spirit Bomb. And Frieza could not, because that Spirit Bomb, the essence of the Spirit Bomb was meant for somebody who is evil. And Frieza had everything, all the attributes that Spirit Bomb was against. So it was perfect for somebody like Frieza. So Frieza could not push the Spirit Bomb back. So he got hit with the Spirit Bomb. And after the Spirit Bomb, you can see the devastation of the attack. Goku gets up, Piccolo gets up, everybody was happy that Frieza has been defeated. And then, in that moment, Krillin was the first to see Frieza. While Krillin was happy, smiling, and he looks up, the terror in Krillin's eyes, because remember, when Frieza turned into his second form, and everybody scattered. They were in the air, looking down on Frieza, and Frieza said, I would like a volunteer. Nobody volunteered. Vegeta didn't volunteer, Krillin didn't volunteer, Gohan did, Piccolo, nobody volunteered. No, I don't think Piccolo has arrived at that time. Frieza looks up and he says, meeny, meeny, miny, mo. And he picked Krillin as his first victim. This guy, Frieza, this a-hole, this asshole, Frieza, ran his horn right into Krillin's body. Krillin was so shocked with the whole situation, he couldn't believe it. And to make the matter worse, this guy Frieza pushed his horn further, as if that wasn't enough. You guys remember when he was using Krillin's body to do... What was he saying? He was using his body to sing a song. He was saying, down with the whistle, go with the whistle, down with the whistle, off with the whistle. He was swinging it. And blood was... Everyone in that moment had Krillin's blood on their face. Blood was flying everywhere. Down with the whistle, go with the whistle, off with the... This guy is a... I don't think there is a villain. I don't think there is a villain out there right now that can match Frieza's evilness or Frieza's villain, except Aku from Samurai Jack. I know I have said it before and I'm saying it again. And after Frieza was done toying and torturing Krillin, he flings his horn and throws Krillin right into the lake and Krillin, or ocean, or whatever you want to call it, to allow Krillin to drown. Now Krillin, knowing that, experiencing and remembering that terror, sees Frieza get up. And that spirit bomb, Frieza is so durable that the only thing that was damaged was his tail. We saw the devastation of that spirit bomb. And when Frieza came out of it, of course he had scratches on his body. Of course one of his eyes was a little closed because of the pain. His tail was the only thing that took a severe damage. Right? The end tail, like the end of his tail or whatever. And then Frieza attacks Piccolo first. And as if that wasn't enough, Goku at this point was already pissed off. As if that wasn't enough, Frieza went after Krillin. One of the things that made like you can see the build-up of all of this. He elevates Krillin right up in the air, and Krillin, knowing what's about to happen, the pain Krillin felt, and Frieza made sure that Krillin will feel every bit of his demise. That's just how evil Frieza is. He made sure that Krillin felt each and every moment of his death. He elevates Krillin up in the air. Krillin literally blew up inside out. Okay? Krillin blew up inside out. And you can see Krillin, help me, Goku! Like, help me! And then he blew up. He blew up. Whew. Now, mind you, each and every one of us thought that this guy is dead. That's it. And this guy shows up. This guy Frieza shows up, takes out Piccolo, and Piccolo was barely alive, and then kills Krillin. I'm like, what is Goku going to do here? And you guys know Goku's strength has severed so much that he could barely stand up on his 2 feet. And then Krillin gets killed. And Goku lost it. Just the pace of that moment. Goku twitching. He's twitching. You can see veins popping on like all over his head, his neck. Twitching. And as he twitched, you could see the glimpse of the golden form, the Super Saiyan form coming. I'm like that moment, man. I'm not gonna lie to you guys right now. That moment, I'm not gonna say that I was traumatized in a good way. I was traumatized in a good way. That first Super Saiyan, the first Super Saiyan transformation, Goku transforming, I dreamt about that. I dreamt about that shit. I had a dream of it. The whole week, I couldn't stop. The whole day, I could not stop thinking about that transformation. And Goku twitched and his pupil went away, and you can see the vein popping out. And as soon as he turned into the first Super Saiyan, his pupil came back. And the look he gave Frieza, that look right there, this moment was a transfiguration of Dragon Ball Z. This moment was what gave transformation. This moment right here was what literally, like, he broke, like, I would say all the other animes out there, Dragon Ball Z, Goku's first transformation was what paved the way for all these other anime transformation. When Goku transformed into the first Super Saiyan and looked at Frieza, and Frieza somehow knowing that, oh shit, the legend that Vegeta has been yapping all this time, the legend the Saiyans has been yapping all this time, the legend Planet Vegeta has been nurturing in their hearts all these years. So this must be Super Saiyan. Because Frieza said, you've transformed into Super Saiyan, isn't it? Isn't it? Because he knew that this must be the legend that he has heard of that forced him to enjoy killing all these things, blowing up Planet Vegeta. Of course, we now know that it was Beerus that orchestrated it, but at the time we didn't know. So we thought that it was the prophecy of a warrior rising up and turning into Super Saiyan and defeating Frieza. It was that legend that pushed Frieza to take out Planet Vegeta. And of course, the Saiyans has continued to get stronger and stronger each battle. So Frieza feared that one day they will take up arms and rise against his empire. And knowing the fact that there's a lot of Saiyans out there, knowing the fact that they have sent their babies all across the galaxy or whatever, all over the globe or whatever, Frieza knows that one day the Saiyans will gather up, huddle up, and destroy him one day. So we thought at the time that it was this legend of Super Saiyan that pushed Frieza to eliminate Planet Vegeta. But this form right here was a special moment in the history of Dragon Ball. I don't think that any Dragon Ball fan or Dragon Ball Z fan I don't think if you ask him what is your top 5 special moment or top 3 special moment in Dragon Ball Z, I don't think they will miss this moment right here. Goku Super Saiyan transformation. Dragon Ball is a franchise that often distilled down to flashy transformations that push characters to unprecedented heights. Super Saiyan transformation are now Dragon Ball's norm. However, Goku's first experience with this signature state elevates the series to something special. The episode's confirmation that Super Saiyans are a reality is revelat- I can't pronounce revelatory, but this transformation is just as much a reflection of Goku's humanity as it is his sane strength. It's the narrowing sight of Krillin's cruel death and attacks on his loved ones that pushed Goku past this breaking point. On top of Goku's explosive transformation against Frieza, transformed at last, also delivers in the filler department as the other world clash between Yamcha, Tien, Chatsu, and the Ginyu Force intensifies. Special moment, man. Number 2. Goku and the Dragon Balls leave the world behind in a fitting finale. Dragon Ball GT episode 64. Until we meet again. Now, I almost cried. This episode, no, I think, wait a minute. Was it this episode? Yeah, it was towards the end. No, I think, Till we'll meet again, Dragon Ball GT episode 64. Yes. I almost cried on this episode. This episode was emotional because knowing the fact that Dragon Ball Z ended with Kid Buu getting defeated, and then we got a new series, a new genre, still in the same Dragon Ball genre called Dragon Ball GT, and knowing the fact that GT did quite an astonishing job, a good job, and seeing how everything came to pass, seeing how, based on the fact that the Z Warriors has did a terrible job using Dragon Balls to make wish and terrible wishes that caused a negative energy, thus leading into all these dragons to start causing havoc on planet Earth, and having Goku being the conduit at the end of Dragon Ball GT, and Goku finally saying goodbye as a kid. Goku says goodbye to the Z Warriors, says goodbye to Vegeta, and Vegeta said, "Oh, you're going to train again, aren't you?" And Goku said, "Shh," right? And Goku says goodbye to everyone, his wife, just Goku's way and his mannerism of doing things that are so epic. And Goku has always been this way. His mannerism, when it comes down to it, the way he puts himself in front of situations, like as if it's nothing to him. You guys remember during Cell Saga when Cell was about to blow up Earth, the way Goku said goodbye to the Z fighters and just dives into the situation, says goodbye to Gohan, tells him to take care of his mother for him. He's now the man of the house, and just like that, takes Cell to King Kai's planet and have, because Goku had every opportunity to return to Earth. But then again, I think Goku didn't want to leave Cell there because King Kai may feel some time. I don't even know why, because Goku could have easily returned to planet Earth. He could have left Cell in space, but due to the fact that in that very moment, Kyo Toriyama, bless his soul, was now shifting into making Gohan the next superhero. He was about to kill off Goku and have Gohan as his next best thing moving forward, right? That was the reason why. Otherwise, I don't see the reason why Goku should have died in King Kai's planet. He could have taken Cell to space and have him blow up there or whatnot. Anyways. And Goku says goodbye to everyone on Dragon Ball GT and climbs on top of Shenron. And as you can see, and I think, no, before he climbs on top of Shenron and tells Shenron that he needs to make a quick stop to visit an old friend. And Goku goes to Krillin. And at that point, you can see the old Krillin with mustache and just the pace of that last episode. And Goku and Krillin kind of, duked it out a little bit, and Krillin got Goku with a punch, and Goku fell on the ground. It's just, and then you see Master Roshi looking at looking at his two pupils, his two students that he's been training, he's known for a very long time, seeing them now and seeing how far they've come. It is just a joyful thing to see. And Goku then climbs on top of Shenron, and you can see he's so exhausted, and he lays on top of Shenron. And as Shenron is flying away with Goku, the Dragon Balls starts going inside Goku. One Dragon Ball went on inside his tail, one merged in his forehead, one merged in his right shoulder, his left shoulder, his heart. Just the pace of that last episode was just touching, And then Goku flew away with Shenron, and that was the last time they saw Goku. And Goku, years later, years went by, and now you have Vegeta Jr. and Goku Jr., another tournament, and you see old Pam, and you see Goku was watching them, and Pam sees Goku, tries to go meet him up, and Goku disappears. And I think at that point, Goku is now a being that he's no longer, his state in the universe has changed. He's become something between real life character and a spiritual character. If you guys know what I'm trying to say. He has become something beyond comprehension, because he can, even although we know he has instant transmission, but at that point when he became a conduit of the Dragon Balls, he became something else. You could say he became spiritual. He became something different, So, and then Pam died, and Goku Jr. cried out and wished, for Pam to, to live again. And based on his destitute, based on Goku Jr.'s destitute, Goku made that wish come to fruition, and told Goku Jr. that this wish came to fruition because of the goodness of your heart, and because of the destitute that you have in your heart is the reason why this wish came to be. And at that point, Goku Jr. didn't really know who Goku was at that, because he never met him. But I'm sure as he grew older, he will be like, wait a minute, I kind of look like this guy, because you can see Pam adapted Goku's life. lived in the woods, not really interacting with the world like that. And as you can see, what's her name again? Bulma. You can see Bulma the second or Bulma the third or whatever, right? Vegeta Jr.'s mother. Anyways, this episode was very touching. I almost cried. I almost cried on this episode. I'm not even sure if I was crying actually. I don't know. It's been a long time, but it was a very touching and emotional episode. So this moment deserved to make the list. Oh man, I think I gave you guys something just now, didn't I? Number one, Dragon Ball GT may collectively be the weakest Dragon Ball series, which I don't agree with, but anyway, I'm not gonna read that. Let's go to number one. Number one. Number one. Gohan realizes his potential as the first Super Saiyan 2. Dragon Ball Z, episode 185. Awakening. Whew. This moment right here. This was a hard moment because Goku, being stupid, but at the same time being a good-hearted person, giving Cell the sensu beans when he knows, well, Goku knew that Gohan had something in him, which was the reason why Goku was so confident that Gohan will get the job done, which was the reason why he gave Cell his sensu beans. So that when he gets beat, there will be no complaint. And in that moment, Gohan decides to go up against Cell. Before Cell started fighting Goku, he looked at Goku to make sure that Goku didn't lose his brain somewhere. Why do you put me up against a child? He looks at Goku, looks at Gohan, and he said, well, Goku, whatever happens from here on out, it's on you. But you've given me a child to fight. I'm gonna whoop his ass. Like something between that line. So, this moment, and Cell Jr., because Cell Jr. had the same power as Cell, which was the reason why Vegeta nor Trunks nor the Z Warriors couldn't touch them. Cell Jr. started to whoop, decimate the Z Warriors like there is no tomorrow. The pounding of their bones and muscles, you could literally feel it. Like Cell Juniors were making beats off of the Z Warrior's body. And Gohan says, "Stop it!" Cell Juniors continues, and Gohan says, "Tell them to stop it!" And then that music, that iconic music. Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 Dun 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 dun. My goodness, man, goosebumps everywhere. I was like, oh my goodness, Gohan, do it, do this shit, whoop this guy's ass, because you guys know at that point, Cell was so cocky. He was so menacing. The pride in him was too much. The pride in him at in that point, the Cell game, and for the fact that he was holding that sensu beans, which means ain't no way the Z Warriors are gonna get this sensu beans out of him. They are done. They are cooked. It's over. Now for Gohan to start transforming, and Cell looks at him, and you can see Gohan's like Gohan was so OP in that moment that his tears were flying up. His tears was not rolling down due to his energy and the amount of energy surging around him. His tears were going up. They were flaming up into the clouds. And Cell says, let it go, boy. Oh my goodness. And Gohan, no. Hold on. I have skipped the point. When Cell crushed the head of Android 16, if I'm not mistaken. When Cell crushed the head of Android 16, when Android 16 told Gohan, you're a gentle soul, let it go. I know that you're holding back. My scanner has sensed it. There is a dormant power line that lays within you. I know you care about your friends so much. That is the reason why you're holding back. Let it go. I know the type of person you are. Cell is not one of those person that you can talk out of a situation. Cell is not one of those people that can change their mind just like that. You know? You have to let it go. For the sake of the life that I love. For the sake of humanity. For the sake of nature that I love. Because you all know Android 16 loves birds. He loves nature. And for some reason, birds are so clinging to him. That means he has a good heart. Because you all know that when animals relate to you too much, that means you have a peaceful soul. Just like Goku, when Goku was... Anyways, and Cell told Android 16, you can shut the hell up now. I can take it from here. I know what I'm doing. And smashes the hand of Android 16. And the way they made that scene, and his chip flew out. And you can see the light dimming. And the light dims off. And then Gohan snaps. I think there were 2 Dragon Ball Z versions that did it differently. You can see the bird flying away. Like Gohan snaps, he explodes, and then Cell didn't take a note of it. And Cell said, "Don't think you can beat me, boy, by just powering up." And whatever the main Cell feels, Cell's Jr. feels the same thing. When Cell said, "Don't think you can beat me, boy, by just powering up your energy," Cell Jr.'s continues to whoop the Z Warriors' ass like there's no tomorrow. Even Krillin, Tien, they were already knocked out. They were getting their ass, it was so bad that Tien is already out. Yamcha is already out, but Cell Juniors were still whooping their ass even after they have passed out. That is another ass whooping to another level. Even though Yamcha, Tien is like they passed out, but Cell Juniors continues to whoop their ass. And Gohan said, stop it right now. And Cell looked at him and said, let it go, boy. And Gohan increases his energy. Now, in this moment right here, Gohan's face, he's like, you can tell, like, what the hell? Because you guys know, you all know that Gohan has been through some trauma, some devastating traumas over his childhood. He suffered a lot of PTSD. You all know this, right? Because you all remember when Goku died and Gohan was left with Piccolo, and Piccolo brought him somewhere and left him there to survive all by himself. Baby Gohan or small kid Gohan at that age had to figure out a way to survive all by himself. Could you imagine having your dad around as a baby or as a small kid, and all of a sudden your dad is no more? All of a sudden you're left with Piccolo, and instead of him taking care of you, he leaves you on an island all by yourself to survive by yourself. Gohan went through a lot of terrible trauma situation, as if it ended there. Piccolo ends up coming back to Gohan and started training him. Piccolo whooped Gohan so bad that when they met up with Krillin, and Krillin asked Gohan, how has it been? And Gohan said, Piccolo isn't that bad. He's been taking care of me. You guys remember Gohan had a band-aid. Like this boy has been such a trauma situation all over his life that it's not even a joke. As if his trauma with Piccolo wasn't enough, this boy faces, now we go into the Saiyan saga. He gets his ass whooped so much by Nappa. As if that wasn't enough, Planet Namek, when Raccoon kicked Gohan so hard that Gohan's pupil was almost fading away, he knocked him out cold. All the trauma that Gohan went through, on Planet Namek, and then we go into, and then the Android saga, of course. And then now, in this very moment, you guys know how much trauma this boy has gone through. The amount of PTSD that this boy has gone through, it is just off the charts. That's the reason why that all that trauma, he bubbled it all up and just let it go. I think it was one of the things that also helped Gohan's Super Saiyan 2 transformation, because he's been through a lot of trauma over his life. I'm not kidding. And let's not forget about Broly, the first Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan Broly, the kind of ass whooping Gohan took on the first movie, on the first Broly movie. That wasn't a joke, right? So in this very moment, Gohan is like, what the fuck is going on? Like, did he just crush this android's head? Somebody who loves life the way I loved life. Someone who enjoys nature the way I enjoy nature. Someone who has a good heart the way I have a good heart. And he's gone like this? Gohan couldn't hold it. Now, this moment, man, I have to emphasize and a lot on this, because guys, somehow and sometimes we watch a show and it needs something to kind of relieve us, to make us go back and relive those moments. I had to emphasize on this one because it was an epic moment. I was screaming. I was so hyped that I was waiting to see Gohan make Cell pay for his atrocity. I was looking forward to see what this form will do, how much Gohan will make Cell pay. And he did make Cell pay. Cell paid. He paid for his arrogance. Gohan whooped him. 2 punches, Cell was coughing out blood. Cell was damaged after 2 punches. Cell took a lot of damage after 2 punches. Whew! My goodness. This moment, epic. Goku is Dragon Ball's perennial protagonist. But there is a legendary there is a lengthy stretch of Dragon Ball Z that teases the idea that Gohan will surpass his father and become the anime's main character. The turning point for all this is when Gohan gets pushed too far by Cell, Perfect Cell, and ascends to Super Saiyan 2 status. Goku's inaugural Super Saiyan transformation is incredibly organic, or I think I pronounced that word wrongly, but Gohan's breakthrough is a more satisfying reflection of Dragon Ball's theme. Gohan's fight against Cell doesn't begin until the following episode, yet this installment still makes a remarkable impact through Gohan's effortless destruction of the 7 Cell Juniors. Plenty of Super Saiyan transformations follows, but they all feel like diminishing returns that struggle to top Gohan's inspirational spectacle that ushers in the Cell Saga's endgame. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The 15 best moment in Dragon Ball franchise. Now, with that being said, I have honorable mentions here. I have a couple honorable mentions. The first honorable mention will be Planet Namek, Vegeta, before he died. That moment really hit hard. Another honorable mention will be Goku going Super Saiyan 3. Another honorable moment will be Mystic Gohan. Mystic Gohan will be another honorable moment in Dragon Ball franchise. Another honorable moment is I'm not gonna get into the movies because this is all anime. This is all the series. They didn't touch anything on the movies, but I will for the sake of it all. When Goku fought, of course, Vegeta during the Buu saga is another moment, another honorable moment. And then if you want to talk about movies, Gogeta with the fusion dance. I already mentioned Vegeta during the Buu saga. That was an epic moment. That was an honorable moment. Another honorable moment will be when Vegeta said, "You're better than me, Kakarot. You are the best." That was a hard moment for Vegeta of all people to admit that Goku is special in his own rights. Another honorable moment will be when Beerus slapped Bulma and Vegeta turned into a Super Saiyan 2 that surpassed Super Saiyan 3. That's an honorable moment. Another honorable moment will be of course, Super Saiyan God. I mean, there are so many honorable moments, but I don't want to spam it, okay? I don't want to spam the honorable moments, but I will add also the moment when Vegeta and Toppo were going at it, and Vegeta said, "So what if I have my pride? If I have a pride, if I'm arrogant?" The reason why that moment should be included even in this very list is simply because Vegeta's pride has always been a thing throughout the Dragon Ball series. And to top that up, knowing the fact that the future transformation of Vegeta's future transformation is going to be called Ultra Ego, is the reason why the moment when Vegeta and Toppo were going at it, and Vegeta said, "So what if I have a pride? So what if I'm arrogant? That is my sane pride." And based on the fact that Vegeta's pride has always been a thing for him, even when Goku will suggest, "Let's fuse," and Vegeta will say, "Don't you waste your sane pride." When Barbody was about to take over Vegeta, not even about to, took over Vegeta's body and was manipulating Vegeta's body, and Vegeta said that there is always something that a Saiyan will never lose. There is always something that a Saiyan will keep till the day till the day he dies. His Saiyan pride. So his pride channeling into his ultra ego, which will be his future transformation, should be the reason why Vegeta and Toppo, or Vegeta's comment, Vegeta's sentence to Toppo, should be on this list. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you have any other honorable mentions? Do you have any honorable mentions? Now let's go to the poll, because you guys have been let's see. 25% of you guys said Saint Saga. 25% of you guys said Namek Saga. 50% of y'all said Boo Saga. I'm shocked with you. I'm shocked that Boo Saga surpassed Namek Saga. Because you guys know Android Saga merges with Cell Saga. You guys know that, right? Android Saga and Cell Saga is the same thing because Cell is an android. So I'm not sure why Boo Saga beats Saint Saga, Namek Saga, and no one even chose Android Saga. I'm shocked with your choices, man. I'm shocked with this vote. I'm not sure if you guys are trying to be petty, but and again, only 4 people voted. Wow. 4 people. Only 4 of y'all voted. Only 4 of y'all voted. That's insane. Anyways, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my 15 epic moments in Dragon Ball franchise. And of course, the honorable moments. If you're going to watch this live stream later, feel free to give me your own honorable moments. Or if you have a list of your own, feel free to give me your list as well in the comment section. On that note, wait, let me read the chat for a little bit. Let me read the chat and see what's up. Rafa, undisputed GOAT, says, what if Goku went Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 versus Jiren? I don't think that will make any difference because Jiren at that point, remember, if Kaioken Goku couldn't do anything to Jiren, I don't think times 20 would do anything to Jiren. Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 will not do shit to Jiren. So yeah, there you have it. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for stopping by. Keep on keeping on. See you in the next live stream. Oh, I forgot to mention before I sign out. For my wrestling audience, I am keeping up with Raw. If you ever want to talk about Raw, you can always ask me questions. I'm keeping up with it. I think I started watching this past Monday Night Raw, and I stopped at, I think it was CM Punk, LA Knight, Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker finished their segment. That was where I stopped. So I have to finish it. I have to continue on where I left off on this past Monday Night Raw. So, yep. So I will see you guys in the next video, and it's been awesome.